of flowers that often we don't even think of, like rose petals are edible. So you can always, if you have roses, you can introduce
But we
roses.
should be, but Chris, we need to be specific about that because the rose petals that you grow are edible, but the rose petals that are grown on, again, like industrial farms, they're not edible. So just to, you know, it's that idea of all roses are not grown equal. All greens are not grown equal. And that's something that, you know, we spend so much time, everything that we put out from Board Communications, that's always like, trace it back to where it came from and know what you're actually dealing with. That's what we call empathy economics. So thank you for bringing that up because that's so important. So rose petals should be edible.
Yes, well, they are if you're growing them in any kind of system that's not using poisons and stuff like that. And speaking of that, you kind of caught me because I don't necessarily think about that anymore. You know what I mean? Because of where we are and how we grow, we have guests on the farm. I can just pick something and say, here, put that into your mouth, right? But
it's a whole different,
what you're saying, if you're in this place using 4, 5, 6 herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, and all these synthetic materials, then no, you can't just pop them into your mouth because you could be killing yourself. So we also have big.
And that's so like that's critical, and it's you just said something that's so important that you don't even think about that anymore. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. But it's also something, it's like, we have to, we want that education, we want that inspiration. So I would say that every single person that goes for an experience with you guys in Jamaica, they can't leave the same way. You can't be like, try this right from your farm, right from your growing petals of flowers. And then you come back to wherever you live and you go back to the supermarket, you're not going to see food the same way again, or that's the goal. So I know that you two serve that purpose, and the impact that you had when you delivered your crop box to me and my family sits with us to this day. So from the heart. So Mike and Jenessa, just on that, you know, what Chris is saying, because you're still going between the country and a big city where shoppers are used to maybe the supermarkets and they're not coming to your farm. What's something that is really positive about shopping from the farmer's market instead of the supermarket?
I would say the interactions with the farmers, for sure. Like even being a vendor at Brickworks, I look forward to going to market and doing the early wake up and the long day, because it's just so nice to talk to other growers, and you see other growers experimenting with things. Like I saw some people last year growing ginger, and it's like, wow, I want to talk with that person at the end of the day and see how they did that, you know. And for customers, they must feel the same way, being able to talk to the vendors about what they grew. It's like, oh, I've never seen that. What does that taste like, you know? Or what do you do with that? Yeah.
I love that. I mean, that's the thing about borage, right? That's the thing. And you were like, they're so pretty and they taste like cucumber. And I was like, okay, that's going in my salad today. And that doesn't happen at a supermarket.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely. That whole getting to know where your food is coming from, seeing that, you know, it's not coming out of a package. There's actually a person behind this. There's seeds behind this. There's soil behind. There's love, sweat, tears. There's knowledge that had to be acquired to get this thing to where it has. There's faith. There's hope. I mean, you're going through the gambit of emotions when you're growing food. And then when you get to the point where you can share it with the person that's going to be consuming, it's also a very great way to have accountability as well, right? Because there's not just some faceless corporation behind where your food is coming from. So, you know, we've used to go to markets, and if there's an issue or if there's something fabulous, you're hearing about it straight from the customer, and the customer is hearing about the produce straight from the grower. So you're really reconnecting with how our food systems should have been at the outset of life, you know, from grower, from farm to table, or from earth to fork, whichever it may be. So yeah, we did farmers market for years. And what our other guests were saying is something that we always got a great kick out of, because people would find us anywhere we were because they had this great experience with us at the market, or with our produce, or with our products. So definitely you're reconnecting the food, the grower, to the consumer, and the place where it's going after that. And that's something that's so necessary.
Absolutely.